Hello everyone, my name is Jose Aurelio Fiorio Weberhofer. I am an independent researcher in finance and economics, and today I want to discuss yield compression and macroeconomic drivers in the Dubai residential market. As we all know, Dubai's residential real estate market has witnessed a very explosive price growth since 2021. But the question is, what has happened to rental yields in the same period? In this video, I will walk you through a data-driven analysis of Dubai's rental yield dynamics between 2021 and 2025 using over 1.5 million rows of transactions from the Dubai Land Department and explained what truly drives yield compression in this market. So you can see from my data here on the rent data, I have 1,048,000 rows of data from the DLD. And on my sales data, I have almost 600,000 rows of data. So combined is about 1.5, 1.6 million transactions. Okay, number of transactions. Of course, I had to sanitize this data because of, it's a huge amount of data, 1.6 million. So naturally, there are typing mistakes, extra zeros, extra one, and things like that. So we had to sanitize in order to retrieve numbers that made sense and that didn't affect our multilinear regression. Okay, so let's define first what are the objectives of this research. And it is to understand what drives changes in residential yields in Dubai. And specifically, we want to test whether yields are driven more by prices, property prices, or interest rates. This is a critical question for investors, developers, policymakers, and anyone who is interested in the Dubai real estate market. Now, let's focus our attention on the data that I have and the methodology or the method that was followed in this multilinear regression. The dependent variable or Y variable, of course, is the rental yields. And the independent variables are, which is X, are the average sales price per square meter and the average 1-year EIBOR rate. The EIBOR is the Emirates interbank offer rate. And to properly establish an economic relationship, all variables were log transformed, logarithmic transform, allowing to interpret the results in percentage terms or elasticities. So now let's focus our attention on the multiple linear regression model. From this multiple linear regression model, we can build our formula, which will be, let's insert here the formula. The equation will be the logarithm of the dependent variable, the logarithm of the rental yield, okay, equals to a constant value or a y-intercept when x is equal to 0 of 3.006 plus it's actually a negative minus 0.06211 minus 0.6211, and I will explain this, minus 0.6211 times the logarithm of the average sales price per square meter. And you can see that the relationship between rental yield and average sales price per square meter is inversely proportional because of this negative sign here. So when the average sales price per square meter increases, the yield compresses because of this negative sign. Plus, we have 0.06 times the logarithm of the EIBOR 1-year rate. Okay, so this is our EIBOR 1-year rate. Okay, so this is our main equation that defines the correlation between rental yields, average sales price per square meter, and the EIBOR 1-year interest rate. So what are the findings in this multilinear regression? We can see here that R squared is approximately 31%, and the adjusted R squared, it's about 28.7, 29%, with an F statistic extremely significant because it's almost zero, you see? It's 2.38 times 10 to the minus 5 power. So what does this tell us? This tells us that 31% of all yield changes or movements, whether up or down, are correlated purely with prices changes in prices, and interest rate.